My name is Craig Deutsch, and I have lived in Buncombe County for nearly a decade. I have watched Asheville grow from a little town to a small city. I met my wife here, I started my family here, and I bought my first home here. I want to see the county make educated policy decisions in order to grow our town consciously in a way that is mutually beneficial to residents, industry, and the local economy. My goal today is to open the door for further conversation before the county enacts policy that stifles innovation and preemptively limits industry. I watched the briefing where the mining moratorium was introduced, and I was encouraged by the commissioners who stated that they didn't know much about the subject. It made me hopeful that the county will approach this topic with curiosity. That being said, I do not believe that the county looked at alternative solutions to a moratorium before deciding that this was the only path forward. The statute requires that this board state what alternatives to a moratorium were considered and why those courses of action were not deemed adequate. How did you look for alternatives? Did you speak to any Bitcoin miners or people in the Bitcoin industry? There are a plethora of resources about the positive impacts of Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining out there if you know where to look to find good faith studies. And many people who are knowledgeable about the subject are more than willing to take the time to educate. It seems to me that this moratorium on Bitcoin mining has come about thanks to widespread national news coverage of one particular mine in Murphy, North Carolina. The news coverage not only contains wildly inaccurate claims about how Bitcoin mining works, it's not solving complex math puzzles, but also glosses over the two other mines in Cherokee County that the neighbors don't complain about because they use sound barriers to attenuate the noise. Did the commission reach out to any of these miners who are operating in a way that is not disruptive? The moratorium mentions e-waste as a concern, but machines from 2017 are still in use, and new machines also last for many, many years. According to the EPA, there's a total of around 40 million tons of e-waste disposed of each year, and a critical study found that Bitcoin contributes less than 0.1% of all of that. The moratorium also mentions greenhouse gas emissions. Bitcoin mining computers do not emit any greenhouse gases, similar to electric vehicles. Commissioner Wells has been quoted as saying that mines don't typically create many job opportunities, but the Nebraska Public Power District would say otherwise. They recently testified in the Senate about Bitcoin mining being a boon to rural communities. One site has had an economic impact of $65 million, brought about 200 associated jobs and $5.5 million in tax revenue. I urge the county commissioners and planners to take the time to visit Bitcoin mines, do research about Bitcoin's benefits to the environment, such as powering mines from once flared natural gas or deconstructed waste tires, as Commissioner Sloan has mentioned, and listen to stories about the positive impacts of Bitcoin for underserved and underbanked communities. At the end of the day, all Bitcoin mining computers do is run code, and code is a form of constitutionally protected speech. I am hopeful that Buncombe County will follow in the footsteps of states like Georgia, Arkansas, and Wyoming to encourage innovation and bring new industry to the area, or at the very least explore alternative options to a moratorium that will only discourage business in the area. Thank you.